micdup.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. We are we're a few days away from opening day. We are
I did that.
experiencing
I did that.
some awesome weather in California. And I just got back from Arizona, and they're going to be in the hundreds in March next week, breaking all records.
Oh God.
So.
Wow.
Marty came up with an idea for tonight's show that, of course, he doesn't remember, but it's a great idea.
Oh.
We're going to talk about Major League Baseball phenoms who flamed out. So, guys that were supposed to be can't miss by all accounts, and they did not come through for whatever reason. We've got some unique stories. I'm focusing in on some guys that were considered to be what they called bonus babies back in the day. Guys who got a big contract um, and held out and got the money that they felt they deserved and never came through. I'm sure you guys are probably going to have some modern players. There's many cases of modern players who did not make it in the big leagues. So if you are watching us, please hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and you'll have 30 seconds to leave us a comment. Give us a few of your favorite phenoms who failed, and we'll play them on the air. Okay, guys, let us get started. Marty, since you came up with this wonderful topic, please start us off.
Okay. Well, thank you. First of all, in doing some research for this topic, uh, it's easy to say that the phenoms who flopped, but there was all sorts of circumstances why things just didn't work out for all sorts of reasons. And I'm gonna start with one that you really didn't think of would. Well, it will sideline a guy's career, but it happened more off the field than on. The name up front is Matt Bush. He was an all-star phenom in the San Diego area. Um, he did everything in high school. He had a 450 batting average. He even threw 95 miles an hour. It was somewhat recently because he was drafted by the Padres in 2004. So, not a few years back, but not too far. Originally as a shortstop. He signed with the Padres as a sign, and again, 2004, but it's still not bad out of high school. A signing bonus of $3.5 million, the second largest signing bonus ever given to a Padre player at that time. Goodness, you like to say he got hurt. You like to say he didn't like baseball all that much. He preferred something else. But the guy, they should have saw it coming when before his career even got started, he was suspended for a fight outside an Arizona bar. Even before you took the field. He struggled. He was in the minor leagues for a few years. He struggled. And again, he was a great pitcher. So in 2007, 3 years later, they're working with him maybe as a pitcher. Like I said, 98 miles an hour, and back in the 2000 aught numbers. That's not a bad pitcher. But sure enough, here comes the injuries, and here comes Tommy John, and he was sidelined in 2008. At a party, he threw a baseball at a woman's head. I have to read this because it's bizarre. At a party, he threw a baseball at a woman's head and banged on her car window, accusing her of drawing markings on his face during a party. Well, yeah, guess what? He got released the next day. Oops. People lit, but you kind of we're Americans. We give people a second chance. We get it, but So he signed. They let him go, and he signed with a minor league contract with the Rays, and things were going well until he ran over a guy's head, a 72-year-old man's head, at outside a brawl in a bar in 2012. Now, again, the guy, it was a biker. He had a helmet. He survived. It was all but
Yeah, maybe put that information in before you tell us that
was it a mistake? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Well, basically, he bounced around. He made it to the major leagues just for a cup of coffee with the Brewers. His career win-loss record, as he got a little later in his career, was 12-11. Career earned run average 3.75. Lasted about 7 years, but a guy who was a no miss out of high school. We're gonna find out, guys, later on that things happen to them, but sometimes they do it to themselves too.
Yeah.
And again, Matt Bush was the guy's name. So anyway, hey Carl, how you been? Good to see you again.
I'm good.
Great.
Good, Marty. Nice seeing you too.
Thank you. I don't have an IV in my arm. I'm getting better at it. But don't worry. People may notice I've had a few, but I apologize for my being in the condition I am today. Tonight,
Great.
Because I've been drinking all day is the reason why I'm in this condition.
We're trying to run a classy show here. Come on, jeez.
Carl, take it.
So I'm going to start off with one that I remember during my time growing up and being a little younger. Also, I think if I remember right, in sometime in the 80s, Major League came out. And so this guy just reminded me of that movie. So Joe Charbonneau, who debuted with the Indians in 1980, belted 23 home runs, posted a 846 OPS over 31 games for the Tribe. He won AL Rookie of the Year award, and then he only hit 210 with 4 home runs in 48 games the following year, and then spent a lot of time in the minors, and then injuries and further decline kind of led to a premature end to his career. He did have one other claim to fame outside of baseball, is that he was supposedly able to open beer bottles with his eye socket.
Yes, that is a true story. Yeah.
It's a true story.
Oh yeah. There you go. Well, you got to have a talent for something. And he was a teammate of Roy Hobbs, so that would be
the Natural.
Robert Redford. Robert Redford.
Robert Natural. Yeah.
The Natural. So you think you're Rookie of the Year in 1980. By 1984, you're out of baseball and you're opening beer bottles with your eye socket and playing a teammate for frictional baseball player. So not a good start. The way to go with your career.
But they did have a song about him in Chicago. Excuse me, in Cleveland. Go Joe.
Super Joe Charbonneau.
Yeah, there you
Super
go.
Joe Charbonneau. I remember
that. And you left out one really important detail about opening the beer bottle with his eye socket.
Oh, okay.
He would then proceed to drink the beer through his nose.
I totally did not know that. Yeah. Well, there you go. See, only you, you, Robbie, would know that he was able to consume beer through his nose, and I would not know that.
It was beer related, so he knows everything.
It was
about
beer related.
That's right.
Well, I think with that, then we have to let Robbie go with the next guy. So,
all right, I could do that. back and forth, but I think I'm going to go with this guy because he was the first round draft pick in 1971. He was not only a first round draft pick, he was the first pick of the entire draft. Drafted as a catcher out of Southern University. He chose instead to go back to college, so he turned down the White Sox. Went back, played the full 4 years in college. Still did some catching, but then became an outfielder and could play some first base and all of that. Really could rake the ball in college. 1975, he is drafted first round, first overall pick again. This time by the California Angels. So the Angels grabbed this guy, bring him up late in the season. He got a 10 at bat cameo. Offered basically could walk into a job in spring training, but never got it. Bounced around with the Angels, the Twins, a little bit of time in the A's, and then went on to Japan. But he was considered the top collegiate player from 1971 to 75 in all of college baseball, and that's Danny Goodwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's still the only guy that was ever drafted twice, is the first overall pick in the draft.
Yep.
Good
Webby.
one. Good one.
Yeah. I know. I'm so
All right.
educational today.
Yeah. What is wrong?
Hey, before we go, we had a timely thing about Marty's story.
Teddy Bear here down in SoCal. Come on now, Marty. You're getting a little long in the tooth here on this story.
Yeah.
I thought I was being
Maybe
colorful. I've been colorful.
Maybe we should have like a red light or a buzzer that, oh, your time is up. Sorry, but thank you for playing.
You said we had no messages, so we had to pad this. I mean, come on. You're doing me a favor. Doing you a favor.
All right. Let's talk about a bonus baby.
Oh, it sounds like we're out of time.
Yeah. I get the beat.
There we go. Well, nice to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Highlights from Lowlifes.
Yeah. I met this guy at a fantasy camp, Rick Reichart. You guys ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He was considered to be one of the first bonus babies. So he was a football player and a baseball player at the University of Wisconsin. Highly sought after. Played in the '63 Rose Bowl. And quite the baseball player, power hitting outfielder. The scouts were so excited to potentially get him. And in the early '60s, the Angels, at the time, they were the California Angels. They put $200,000 in front of him. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that would be $2.1 million in today's money. And he signed with the Angels and started out pretty good, 16 homers and 44 RBIs in his first year. But shortly after that, he had a kidney ailment, pretty serious, and they had to remove the kidney. And while he did linger in the major leagues for another 4 or 5 years, he wasn't the same player. They said he didn't have the same pop, didn't have the same speed, and became more of a bench player. And he was out of baseball by 1973. So a 9-year career, but nothing where they thought it would be. 116 homers. But the Angels said, we think this guy is going to be a 500 homer guy, somebody that we can rely on for 10, 12 years. And it just didn't happen. So Rick Reichardt's my number 5 pick. All right. Let us go to a round 4. Carl, why don't you start this one off?
All right. Well, I'm going to pick a gentleman who used to live very close to me down here, who just passed away in February. His name was Robert Edward Bobby Henrik. And Henrik's claim to fame was he was drafted first by the Cincinnati Reds in, I believe, 1960. And he primarily was he was only 18 years old, and he was uh, primarily a pinch runner. So he had, because he was a bonus baby at this time, it was pre-draft. He had to stay on the major league roster. So at 18, he had to be on the same roster with people like, Frank Robinson, and it was playing under Bertie Tibbetts as the manager. They all thought he had great speed and all, but he didn't really have a lot of playing time and was out of baseball 2 years later. So he had great speed. He was a multi-sport athlete at Compton down here in Southern California. He ran the 100-yard dash in 9.7 seconds. So he was quick. He was fast, but he just wasn't a baseball player and didn't get any playing time. And because of the bonus baby rules, he had to stay on the roster. He never got the development he needed to have. So 2 years later, he was out of baseball. The good news is that he recreated himself by starting an insurance agency, where he spent a very long career as an insurance agent here in the La Habra area, Brea, of Southern California, Orange County. So he was an interesting guy, but unfortunately, his baseball career, it will be always known as an asterisk.
Yeah. Hey, Carl, what years did he play in the big leagues?
I believe I thought he. I think he got drafted in. Let me see here. I thought it was 60, but it might have been. It might have been before then, because he also got a $3,000 signing bonus, which was massive for that time.
Yeah.
So so he, I want to say it was probably late 50s, mid to late 50s, because by 22 he was out of baseball. So it would have been probably 58 when he was drafted by the Reds, 57, 58.
Okay. Thanks. All right. Who's up, Carl?
Well, let's see. How about I'm in a Robbie mood today because he's the beer guy, so I'm going to go to Robbie.
Fair enough. All right. This guy was a first-round draft pick. I think he was the first overall pick in 1973. He grew up in Houston, was a left-handed pitcher, and had drawn many, many, many comparisons to the great Sandy Koufax. He was going to be the next big thing and the savior of a very flailing franchise that had moved from Washington a couple years prior, the Texas Rangers. So Texas drafted a Texas kid. They built everything on this poor kid's back. 18 years old, right out of high school. They decided to give him 2 starts in Major League Baseball right out of the draft. They ended up, because of the spectacle, the press that they got, and the crowds that would turn out on the nights he pitched, they ended up giving him 18 starts that year. He did not perform well. Mentally, I think it probably ruined this poor kid. Probably destroyed his career. At the same time, it also saved the Rangers franchise. So it's kind of I think the Major League Baseball was looking to take over the franchise because of the financial issues that team was going through. But the crowds would turn out for him, and he became the poster boy for that. But he just never turned in anything. And here's why I don't like WAR, Carl. The statistic WAR. David Clyde, 18 and 33 career record, nearly a 5 ERA, has a .6 WAR. You go figure.
0.6 WAR is not a good number.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of these guys we're talking about tonight had negative WAR. This guy's got a .6 WAR. He's .6 above this replacement at 18 and 33. Stupid stat.
Yeah. Hey, Robbie, I was going to use David Clyde too, and his life was a mess, and it wasn't his fault in a lot of cases.
This kid was destroyed.
There was a fight between Billy Martin, his manager, and Bobby Brown, who was the GM of the Rangers, about how to use him. Brown quit, because he didn't like the direction it was going. Clyde became an alcoholic. Had 2 failed marriages before the third one hit. Just too much was expected of him.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to handle it. There's a book out called The White Rat, which is a Whitey Herzog book. And apparently there's a couple chapters in there that talk about the David Clyde stuff. So if anybody wants to know the full story, just look for The White Rat.
Yeah. The poor kid just, I mean, too much pressure. That's just not fair
Yeah.
to an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Webby, what do you got?
All right. I'm going to go with somebody that we talked about on the show before. I think, Robbie, you brought him up. This guy didn't have a chance to have a great career. Ken Hubbs.
Yep. Wow.
He was the 1962 National League Rookie of the Year. Played second base for the Cubs. Gold Glove. The batting was considered to be weak, but he was improving and getting better, supplying more power, more batting average. The Cubs thought they had a guy that was going to be around for years. But at the age of 22, Hubbs, who was a pilot, learning how to fly planes, he was flying in some weather that he probably shouldn't have been. And his plane crashed in Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
This was just prior to the '64 season. So he got basically the better part of a year and a half in the big major leagues, and was improving the whole time. And suddenly, a player that you were counting on to be a cornerstone was gone. So Ken Hubbs is my number 4 pick as a phenom flameout. All right.
78 straight games without an error in that rookie year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At second base. That's unbelievable. Hey, sorry. Side note: 4 Hall of Famers on that team, and they lost 100 games.
Yeah. Let's go Cubs.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a break.
Did Marty go?
No.
I didn't. Oh, yeah, maybe we should just take a break anyway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. That's fine by me. That's all right.
All right, go ahead, Marty.
I guess I went so long on the first one. I guess you have to. But anyway. Okay.
Yeah, we should have a rule against day drinking. That's it.
Yeah. One of the great general managers of baseball. One of the great teams of baseball. They just went to the World Series. But even though they're great general managers, I'm talking about Sandy Alderson. And in the 90s, 1990 Oakland A's, they went to the World Series and they lost to the Reds. But they had a draft that year, and the A's had 36 picks in that 1990 draft. And they referred to the 4 aces that came out of that draft. And these are great names of baseball, as you know. Don Peters, Dave Saccarano, Kirk Dressendorfer, and Todd Van Poppel.
I remember Van.
Well, yeah. That's my choice. This was the guy that was at a high school, 11-3 with a 0.97 EPA when the A's drafted him. 14th pick overall in the draft. It was A's first round pick. The funny sideline is that somebody else was looking at him too. The Atlanta Braves. But he didn't want to play for Atlanta. He wanted to go with the A's because last night they won the World Series. So so Atlanta had to go. Side story: Atlanta had to go somewhere else, and who did they pick up? Nobody by the name of Chipper Chipper Jones. But it wasn't Van Poppel's fault. The great Sandy Alderson, which I was trying to make all this accolade, and he really pulled a boner on this kid, and it's not his fault because they signed him to a major league contract, which according to the MLB labor rules and stuff, you can only have so many moves on the guy. So like Robbie's previous recipient, they threw him into the fire, and he didn't respond well. He only made 32 starts in that initial year that it was supposed to be a great thing. He had a blazing fastball, but nothing else. He went 4-8 with a 4.88 ERA. He had 122 strikeouts, but but he wound up splitting time between AAA and the A's. In 1996, he was dropped. So he never won more. He tried out with Pittsburgh, and he never won more than 7 games in one season, which is truly sad because he was a great ball player. They tried to fast track him, and he got in over his head. So it was, but and again, and he's now kind of a joke of A's folklore because I said Carl recognized Todd Van Poppel, but if you look at his story, it's truly sad. It's truly sad. So he's my pick. So there you go.
All right. Now let's take a break.
You said no messages. Pat it. I'm doing the best.
I'm gonna take that back.
All right. Well, I guess then it is finally my favorite part of the show, the segment we like to call "What You Drinking." And as always, 131 episodes, I believe, marking tonight. We've been sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Beer Company in Alameda, California. Truly one of America's great craft brewers. We're all enjoying some Almanac tonight. We'll take a quick moment to talk about the beers we're drinking. I'm still drinking the True California Lager. Really digging this. Really refreshing. A lot of flavor, yet still super drinkable for these 90-degree hot days we got going on up here. What you guys drinking?
Well, I'm going to follow up. I got the lager also. It's
Nice.
a little cooler over here in Reno with a little higher altitude, and the snow is melting like crazy. The ski resorts are shutting down faster than a $2 bill. But anyway, so I guess we're into summer now, and this is a great summer beer. It's like you can tell, it's clean. It's light, but the Almanac still puts a ton of flavor in everything they do. So it's a great beer. The true lager.
Nice.
All right, Carl. What are you drinking there, Carl?
I'm drinking the Supernova Plum from Almanac. It claims itself to be light and refreshing. And on a 95-degree day like we had today here in Orange County, I would say it is exactly that. It is light, fruity, and refreshing. It's a bit tart, and that's where you get the name Sour Nova. It gives you a little pucker, but it's really quite tasty. Not a beer I would drink all the time, but ice cold on a hot day, it's the spot.
Isn't this show your date night? So a little pucker's like right where you want to be.
You got to watch out because the missus is listening and she will make a comment.
I hope so.
And you guys are ragging on my ass. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah. All right, I'm drinking the Adventureland.
Oh yeah, good.
This is a really nice Pilsner. And as we told you before, the Adventureland is actually the name of Almanac's brewery. It's become more than just a place where people are making beer. It's become a hangout for neighborhood folks. Little beer garden. There's a food truck. There's some food inside as well. That's very good. There's a bar area for people to drink and watch the games. There's a banquet room. Um, we've seen it all. We've been there a couple times, and we'll go back again. But this beer is kind of an inspiration um, from the fact that the Almanac Adventureland has been so successful to the neighborhood.
Yep.
So try it out.
Great. Yeah. Hey,
Terrific.
Oh yeah, here. Oh, this is not going to be good. Okay.
we have a what you drinking call.
Yeah.
All right, let me play that.
What you drinking? Well, JC and I are down here in Southern California. Couldn't find any almanacs, so we're having a Ventura Light today, watching you guys have a great show. Thanks, guys. We'll see you when we get back.
You got to go to Bevmo.
Evmo.
Bevmo. JC, Bevmo.
Okay.
I guess the squirrel in that rental car doesn't go very far.
No. Okay.
And they're in Ojai, so what do you expect?
Yeah.
Looks like Mama Shanks has left her.
Oh no! Here it comes. Here
we
it comes.
go.
Spank.
Screw up, Buttercup.
Yeah, let's play that again.
Screw up, Buttercup.
So I think we're going from Babe Shanks to Buttercup Shanks.
Okay, Buttercup. There we go.
I'm not so sure she meant me.
I think she did, Buttercup.
Too late. I like it.
Too bad. So sad.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Almanac. Make sure you visit the brewery. And if you do, make sure you tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show, and they may take pity upon you.
All right. We need to rush through these next three rounds. So let's put Marty on a clock.
Good. Okay. All right. This is the guy who is well, let's put it this way. Do you see the jersey that's over my shoulder here? It's a Reno jerseys for the Reno Aces.
Okay.
Opening day is a week from Friday. And one of our most legendary, well, in my mind, legendary players was Seth Beer. That's the guy's name. Seth
Yay.
Beer.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Run his way up to the to throw it. It was a big hit here in town, especially on Thursday nights, which $2 beer nights, which I'll be there. Hopefully you guys will be there, but I'll be there. Anyway, but when he got to the majors, he, you find out in talking to the minor league coaches how huge that jump is from AAA to the major leagues. He never did pan out with the Diamondbacks, was sent back down, and I heard he's in independent baseball now. Some guys can make the adjustment and get back up there. Some guys can't. I'm not saying anything personal about the guy or gentleman, how difficult this baseball is. But he was a phenom here in Reno, and he deserves the toast from me. Seth Beer.
Good one.
Thank you.
All right. Who's up?
You are.
All right. I love this guy. For those of you who know me, I'm a big fan of the Rat Pack. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin. This guy was.
Peter Lawford.
Yeah.
Don't forget Peter.
Yeah. Everybody forgets Peter, but I digress.
And Joey.
Yeah.
Joey. Hello.
Yeah.
Joey Bishop.
So this guy became very popular at the very beginning of his career and loved the Hollywood limelight. It's 1962, and Bo Belinsky is the toast of the town in LA. He threw the first no-hitter at Chavez Ravine as the Los Angeles Angels, beating the Baltimore Orioles 2-0 on May 5th, 1962. Started off his career 4-0, and he was on fire. Everybody wanted a piece of Bo Belinsky. He fell in with the Hollywood crowd. He would hang out at the clubs virtually all night. He's closing them down. He married an actress by the name of Mamie Van Doren, who had how do we put it? Ample frontage. Yes, she had ample frontage.
Or as they say in
Bo,
Monty Python, large tracts of land.
the large tracts of land. Yes. The nightlife caught up with Bo. He moved on from the Angels and had cups of coffee with a couple other teams like the Reds and the Pirates, but never really got back to the dominance that he had early on. He finished his career 28-51 with an ERA a little over 4. He did get dried out and was able to give back to the community. He became an alcohol counselor, but it had ravaged his body. So he ended up dying at the age of 64 in Vegas. Kidneys and liver were a mess, and it caused a heart attack. But he exclaimed, at least I was able to, right the wrongs and give back to society at the end. So look him up, Bo Belinsky.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Robbie?
All right. 1965 was the first year Major League Baseball held their draft. Rick Monday was the first player ever taken in the Major League draft. The next year, 1966, that first round pick fell to the Mets, obviously being the Mets at that point still. They picked a kid out of Lancaster, California, down by you, Carl. Lancaster, California. You've probably been there, Buttercup. Antelope Valley High School.
Do you guys want to be alone? I mean, we can. Okay, all right.
He was out of Antelope Valley High School, considered a very prominent catcher. I'm not sure whether I like the story about him or what happened next the most. Actually, I don't like the story about him because unfortunately he got hurt. He had a series of injuries that took him almost out of baseball. By the time he was 24, I think he was drafted at 21. 3 years later, he had so many injuries, he was out. He was a very promising catcher. Looked like he was going to be a stalwart for them, but of course that never panned out. The issue with this whole draft pick is that taken second overall in the draft by the Kansas City Athletics was Reggie Jackson. So that's how close the Mets were to righting the franchise, and they just couldn't quite get it right. So don't blame Steve Chilcott. Let's blame the Mets.
Okay.
I got it. I can do that.
Yeah. Marty?
Wait, didn't Marty go this round already?
I did Mr. Beer. Yes.
Oh, he did. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Buttercup?
I'm not sure who you're talking to.
This is not good. This is not good.
I'm not sure who you're talking to.
Well, Marty went, and I wasn't talking to Webby.
I had. All right, so I had to make a quick switch here because I had Mr. Chilcott as my next pick. But I'm going to do something for our hated friends from down south and pick on a guy who made his debut after playing in the minor league system for the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1970 and was doing so well as in his debut that he made the All-Star game in 1970 after leading the team with 17 home runs and an ability to play every position on the field. Unfortunately, the front office thought he struck out too much because he they were concerned that with his ability to strike out so much, asked him to cut down his swing and hit the other way. He slumped, didn't really kind of do so well. Worked to a utility deal for a couple more years, and then they moved him to the Oakland A's, where he finished out his career in 1975. So, not really what the guy was looking for. His comment was after sitting for so long that he has so many splinters from sitting at a bench. If somebody struck a match, I might catch fire.
Okay, we have finished another round. Let's jump right into a second round, round two. Carl, who starts off?
Well, I think Marty should start this one off.
Okay.
All right.
This guy stood out to me because he went to the same high school that I did years later, of course. Went to the same university that I would go to watch college baseball games when I was at Stanford. I was working in Menlo Park, and then Stanford would have afternoon games, and I would go out and check this guy out. His name was Mark Appel. He was a can't miss guy for Stanford in 2013. He was the National Collegiate Sports Writer Pitcher of the Year. First round draft choice of the Astros in 2013. What could go wrong? Oops. I have a little source that I use that shows his ML debut didn't happen till 10 years later. June 29th with the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, again, June 29th. His last MLB appearance, August 2nd of that same year. About 35 days.
Incorrect.
Elaborate. By all means, please elaborate.
Mr. Appel made a comeback with the Phillies later on in his career.
Yes.
And was able to get back to the major leagues.
Right.
You said his last appearance in the big leagues. So you lied. You lied to all of our fans.
No.
All of our fans.
No, he said his major league appearance. And I didn't say what team it was with. I just gave the dates. Now, and again, we talked about why these guys didn't quite work out. He had, later, you finish your college career in June, and then you get assigned, and he got assigned to the minor leagues. And then at the end of that first year, he had some pretty good stats. He was invited to the major league camp for the Astros in 2014, the next year. Unfortunately, he had an appendicitis about a month beforehand, so that delayed things. And he was assigned to the Lancaster Jets in the California League. Now, and again, we talked about gentlemen that had legal problems before. We talked about gentlemen who had injury problems. I read this, and this was interesting. The manager who was running the team had an 8-man rotation. Now, but it was 4 times 2. So the guy would start, and then the second guy would take over later in the game. Then the next guy would start, but so even though he was developing the pitchers by getting 8 men in, I'll leave it up to you to determine if this really helped develop him to a major league pitcher or not. And my personal thing that he kind of got messed up with that, added to some injuries, made it to the major leagues, never did pan out. But I know But he did get a 6.2. He did a 6.25 signing bonus. Hope that made it.
Yeah. I think he's probably okay with that. Yeah.
I think so. Mark Appel. He came out of Stanford. So there you go.
All right.
Buttercup, what's happening?
Okay, well, this will have a very interesting discussion after the show.
Oops.
All right, so I'm going to arguably come up with the guy that may have one of the coolest names, if not the coolest name in baseball history, and
Johnny
his name
Dickshot.
is Termel Sledge.
Close.
Termel Sledge.
Termel Sledge, and he made really big impact for both teams he played on, and a third team that he got traded to. So the impact of the player coming in was the big deal there. So he recorded the final RBI in Montreal Expos history. When the Expos moved to Washington, D.C., become the Nationals, he hit the first dinger in their history. And his more significant impact was he was traded after hitting 15 home runs and posting a respectable 799 OPS in Montreal. And he played 20 games in Washington before he was included in the trade to send him to Texas that brought Alfonso Soriano to D.C. to the Nationals. So, a lifetime, was he a lifetime 247 hitter, on base percentage of 327, 700 at bats, 81 runs, 174 hits. So, 25 RBIs, not bad, but just in a very small, a small window. He got drafted by the Mariners, but never played in the big leagues for them. Spent a year at Montreal, spent a year at Washington, finished out his career 2 years in San Diego, and was done by 2007. So, interesting guy. Great name though, Termel Sledge.
I think he's related to Sister Sledge, isn't he, Robbie?
Yeah, I got to say, how many albums did he put out?
Well, if he is, then we as family.
And I believe his son is an MC.
MC Sledge?
MC Hammer.
MC Sledge. Hammer. Well, his nickname was Sledgehammer, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Sledgehammer. So too obvious, isn't it? Sledgehammer.
All right.
So,
Robbie,
you're up.
I think it's me wrapping up.
Yeah.
1979, the Mariners had finished their second consecutive pathetic year and thought, this is going to be the year, guys. We have the first overall pick. We're going to take Al Chambers. Exactly. We're going to take Al Chambers. One of the scouts for the Mariners said, oh, trust me, people will pay just to watch this guy take batting practice. And one of the announcers for the Mariners later said, there's nobody at batting practice. He played 57 games for the Mariners over 3 seasons. He had 206. Yep. He only ever hit 2 home runs, and he was released and out of baseball by the end of 1986. So Al Chambers, drafted ahead of Oral Hershiser, Don Mattingly, Tim Wallach, Andy Van Slyke, Brett Butler, even Mark Thurman, who was a decent relief pitcher, went after Al Chambers. That's a misfire, folks.
Some scout lost a job there.
Yeah. I mean, to Al Chambers' credit, he has 2 more home runs than I do in Major League history. So,
all right. Hey, we finished that round. We are. What do we got? We are way behind schedule. Is it because of Marty? I think it was because of Marty. Yeah. I think I have to finish out this round.
Yep.
All right. Okay. This is one from the early 90s. And this guy never played in the big leagues. but he got a $1.55 million signing bonus that he never should have got. But this involves George Steinbrenner, which makes it all that much more fun. Brian Taylor.
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
is Brien Taylor. His parents claimed he was named after the movie Brian's song, but they misspelled Brian in his name. But okay, Brian at East Carteret High School in Beaufort had a 29-6 record and a 1.25 ERA. He struck out 213 hitters in 88 innings. His fastball was 98 to 99 miles per hour. The Yankees selected him with the first overall selection in 1991. He signed Scott Boras as his advisor, and the Yankees offered him $300,000. Boras said, you should hold out and try to get Todd Van Poppel money, which was $1.2 million. The thing is that Van Poppel was a really good student, and Brian Taylor was not. Brian Taylor's high school GPA was 1.2. I don't know too much about GPAs, but I'm thinking that's not very good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they were
believe that.
threatening. They were threatening the Yankees that if they didn't offer more money, that he would go to college. And the Yankees knew that there was no college that would accept him with a 1.2 ERA. So they actually found a community college. Lewisburg College offered a 2-year scholarship to Brian Taylor to come to school there. And the Yankees at the time, George Steinbrenner was suspended from baseball, and he wasn't allowed to make front office decisions. He wanted Brian Taylor, so he went on TV and he says, well, I don't know about you, but if the Yankees let Brian Taylor get away, they should be shot. So the next day, Taylor was signed for $1.55 million.
Oh.
He was ready to make his debut in the big leagues, but his brother got in a fight in the parking lot, so Brian went to defend him. He threw a haymaker, which threw out his shoulder, and then the guy who was trying to hit tackled him and tore a tendon in his leg. And Brian ended up needing a couple of years to recover, finish his minor league career 22-30 with an ERA over 4. Never made the major leagues, but as Marty would say, he did get $1.55 million. Wow. All right, hey, let's dive right into round one. Marty, start this one off.
Okay. You never know what it's a great game. I love baseball because you never know what's going to happen. Because this kid was a phenom at 13. At 13, he was the starter in the regional baseball team. At 19, he was the biggest star in the Carolina League.
And at 60, he's you.
With a 346 batting average. In 1908, Connie Mack sees this kid. He's away. We got to have him, and signs him for $900. 1908. He brought him to Philadelphia. The kid grew up in South Carolina. Philadelphia was overwhelming for him. It got to a point where he just got on a train and went home. What a bust. What a bust. He came back. He even on the trip up to Philadelphia, he had his coach in South Carolina to come with him just to support him. Connie Mack thought this guy was great, but it just didn't happen until he went to Cleveland. He traded him to Cleveland. Spent 5 years from Cleveland. And then he started to bloom and went to the Chicago White Sox. You guys all know who he is. Who is he? Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh,
He started out at a bus in Philadelphia just because he was too intimidated. He came from a small town in South Carolina, came to Philadelphia, was overwhelmed by the whole thing, and left. These phenoms we call busts for all these various reasons. I thought I was when I called and told you guys about let's do this topic, I thought it could be fun. But doing the research, I thought, wow, how tough it is to make it in this game we all love.
Yep.
So there you go. So
it's what's even better in this is that it's a firsthand bird's eye account of this story from Marty.
yeah.
Well, what more do you need?
Yeah, somebody who was there.
That was an insult, Marty.
It was? It was?
What?
All right, who's up, Marty?
You are.
Okay, good. All right, everybody needs to look for a movie on TV. Let's see. It is called The Hill. And it stars Colin Ford as a baseball player by the name of Ricky Hill. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Ricky was born with a congenital defect in his spine. It's a genetic defect. But his first love was baseball, and he desperately wanted to become a professional baseball player, even though he was told by doctors and by his very, very Baptist parents that that was the wrong thing to do. But he continued to pursue it, and he went to a tryout camp in I think it was in Florida to see if he could make it. Nobody had heard of him. One person there knew about the congenital defect, and that spread through the crowd. And none of the scouts wanted to touch him. But they did let him play in the tryout game. The tryout game is something that just goes on for innings and innings and innings. It's not a 9-inning game. So Ricky got 11 at bats in that game and went 11 for 11. This is it's a legend. People talk about this to this day. And the Montreal Expos scout came out and said, "You know what? We're going to sign you." And they did sign him, and he played for the Lethbridge Expos in 1975 alongside Andre Dawson. He played in the Gulf States League in 76 and 77, and ended up in independent ball in 1978. But things were getting tougher and tougher for him to maintain because of the defect. So he had to retire in 1979. But again, look for the movie called The Hill.
Good film.
And it'll be about Ricky Hill. Okay? That's my number one. All right, Robbie.
All right, mine's for the heartbreak that Giants fans felt. This was going to be our savior pitcher of the future at the time. The kid had all the stuff. Drafted when he was 19, pitched for 4.5 years in the minor leagues for the Giants. Had an incredible 54 and 25 or 26 record. ERA in the low threes. Electric stuff. Everything moved. Even his straight fastball moved. This guy had it all. Came up late in the season in '93. The Giants were deep in a pennant race with the Atlanta Braves back when the National League was just 2 divisions. And they used him as a starter 8 times. And what did he go? He went 3 and 5. But you could see the stuff. It was obvious. Unfortunately, on the it was the final day of the season, on the Sunday, when the Giants had 103 wins and the Braves had 103 wins.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever team could win that day could control their own destiny. And unfortunately, they made the choice to run very young 22-year-old Solomon Torres out to the mound that day, where the Dodgers hit him up for 3 earned runs in the first 3 innings. He looked shaky from the very beginning, and it took him years to recover. He, I mean, to his credit, he went back to the minors and he worked on it. It still didn't work with the Giants, and the fans didn't like him. They were pretty merciless over it, even though I kind of blame the manager. And I also, frankly, they lost that day. The Braves won. I also blame the goddamn Rockies, who played the Braves 18 times that year and couldn't win a goddamn game. We went 0-18 against the Braves. Win one. That's all. We didn't expect a lot.
Just one.
Your expansion team, but you could beat somebody once.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree.
I
Hey,
diverge.
Robbie, I was at that game at Dodger Stadium, and I was sitting next to Ralph Barbieri.
Oh,
No shit. Oh wow.
And I didn't say anything to him. I just, for those of you who don't know who Barbieri is, he was a talk show host in San Francisco for many, many years, and did the sports on a KNBR radio. The poor guy, Torres, was set up to fail.
Yeah.
And then they brought in a parade of wannabes and has-beens after that. I think the final score was 12-1. It was awful.
Yeah.
Terrible
and
end to the season.
I mean, to his credit, he bounced around a little bit and then found a home in Pittsburgh, and he became a very serviceable middle inning reliever guy. One of those guys that could throw you, go in and get 1 out or pitch you 4 or 5 innings on a blowout. So he bounced back and did really well. So tip of the cap to Solomon Torres, but man, that was a rough one for the Giants fans, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. All right. I think
a
Carl
couple
is.
Of calls.
Carl, did you give us your number 1 pick?
No, not yet, but I'm about to, and I'll go quickly because I see we're
No, we're good.
behind.
We're good. We're good.
All right. So mine is a gentleman by the name of Bob Hamlin. Hamlin made a debut in 1994 with the Kansas City Royals. Hit 24 home runs in just 375 plate appearances, 282 batting average, an OBP of 599. Captured the AL Rookie of the Year. Amazing, though, what happened in 95 and then 96. In 95, he dropped to a 169 batting average. In 96, he was finally at a 215 with a 215 batting average, 16 home runs, and 541 plate appearances. So the Royals sent him down to the minors. It didn't really work out there. He got released. He tried to catch up with both the Tigers and the Brewers, and it just never came back for him. So he just flamed out pretty immediately. He was out of baseball by the time he was 30. The good news was he started a manufacturing company and did pretty well with that. And in sometime he founded a professional baseball school and wanted to learn how to become a scout. So he became a scout for the Washington Nationals and the Toronto Blue Jays. And he joined in 2012, he joined the Major League Scouting Corps for the Boston Red Sox. And then in 2021, he was released and has been out of baseball. He has one big claim to infamy, and that is his 1996 Pinnacle foil baseball card is commonly known as the worst baseball card of all time.
So why is that, Carl? Is there something peculiar about the picture?
I believe there is something weird about it.
Do you not know,
something
Rob?
weird with the cup?
I do not know. I don't know that card.
So in that picture, he's got this blank stare, like he's looking right through the camera, right through the cameraman, way off into the distance, while he's holding another baseball card of himself right up kind of under his chin. And it's just this blank. It looks like one of the pictures the photographer's supposed to take of the guy holding a card so they can prove it's him. You take it before you take the next picture, and it looks like it accidentally got put into the set. But he's holding up a picture of the previous year card. Yeah, there you go. Can you tilt it down just a
Wow.
little, Carl?
How's that?
Wow.
Yeah, that is awful.
And all the glare from the glasses, and it's just that blank stare he's got.
Yeah. I saw that and went, this has got to be the best one to use for me. So
Pinnacle my ass.
All right. We got a few calls.
There
You
we
know,
go.
just encourage some people to call in.
Yeah.
What do we got, Robbie?
All right, here we go.
JC here from beautiful Ojai, California, where it's hotter than you know what. Anyway, chiming in with my friend Rich Murray, who in 1980 came to the San Francisco Giants as a promising first base prospect, was a factor for Rookie of the Year for a bit, then got hurt. He came back in 1983 and played to limited success. Rich Murray.
Here's the next
Okay.
one.
Okay, Robbie and Webby, you know this is coming.
Uh-oh.
My guy is a guy who was the fastest Oriole in 1970. He was also hit like 400 in spring training. And then when Earl Weaver sent him down, he got really ticked off and flipped the spread and never made it back to the major leagues at all. Drungo Hazelwood.
So Carl,
that might
that
be a
is
better
your-
name.
That's. I mean, we should have a vote sometime. Best baseball name: Drungo
Sledge
Hazelwood or Jermel Sledge.
There you go. Next
There
week's
you
show.
go.
There it is.
And we have one more call.
Corrupt Buttercup.
And again, you guys think it's me, but I'll bet it wasn't.
Carl, it doesn't really matter what you think.
Rob, it's been that way for 34 years.
Yeah, you're not on the second tier for nothing.
I understand.
All right. Excellent topic, Marty. That was
you.
a lot of fun. We will be back here again next Wednesday with another show. I don't know what we'll talk about. We do have a good list of potential guests that we are going to be signing up for the show. And so we'll try to give some advance notice on that. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Almanac. Thank you, micdup. Anybody else to thank? Thank you, Carl, for putting up with the three of us. That was very nice of you.
And thank you, Gail, for leaving me the greatest sound clip I could ever have.
She's laughing out loud right now. I can hear her in the other room. Oh my God, this is going to make my night hell.
Boy, I can't wait for Lodi.
Carl, keep drinking, Carl. Keep drinking.
Yes, I need another one. It's empty.
There you go.
All right. Hey, Robbie, play us out. We've been here way too long.
From